Hi everyone, welcome to this slightly different video for the 40th weekend since the original lockdown in the UK in March. And as I sit here on Boxing Day, Oxfordshire has moved straight from tier 2 to tier 4, which basically means we're in the same conditions as the national lockdown. All the shops are shut apart from those that are deemed to be essential, and you can't go out and meet and mix with anybody, etc., which is probably a good idea. I'm sure what happened yesterday was probably not a good idea in that sense, but it is Christmas, and there's always two sides to or two sets of opinions on something like that. I'm not doing a long video today because obviously it's Christmas weekend, and I haven't had much time to spend on the radio. Saying that, on Christmas Day morning, I did my usual sort of band scan of Longwave. And I actually worked or joined a nightly net actually on 80 meters, and I think it was 3.788 kilohertz. And the guy that runs that net is a guy called Dave, who some of you may well know or have heard on the bands G0EVY, Golf Zero Echo Victor Yankee. Great guy. The guys on that net are great. I joined in. I've joined in that net before actually when I was a 2E0, and I'm not sure that they remembered, but obviously I joined in under a different call sign this time, and it was great, although it did mean I ended up going to bed pretty late, well, in the early hours of Christmas morning basically. So, and then obviously the kids are up early, etc., and it's all a bit of a pain really, but not having much sleep, but it was good fun, and I thought I'd share those videos on the site. So this weekend there's not going to be a lot of time to spend on the radio. One thing I have done is my portable setup, which is an FT817 running from a 7.2 amp hour lead acid battery. Well, the 45 watt power amplifier that I purchased from eBay eventually arrived after about 2 months and 3 attempts. And you've probably seen these on eBay. It's just a little box that and it's got the sort of data lead actually. So when I change bands on the 817, it lights, it illuminates. It's got a little a set of LEDs on the front of this thing, and just to sort of tell you what band you're on. Not that you really need it. And what I found is that when you run the 817 just on a lead acid battery, you don't get the full 5 watts. I think you get about 2.5 or 3 watts. I need to look at the manual, but basically, but then the amplifier then puts out about 30 watts. So I'm getting, I'm up to 30 watts. Now I was going to run them both on the same lead acid battery, but one of my subscribers mentioned to me that might be a bad idea, and he sent me a PDF of a kind of report that was published a while ago. I'm not going to read the whole thing out, but basically, if you run an 817 and a transverter or a power amplifier using the same DC supply, then the voltage drop across the negative return of the external amplifier also appears on the outer braid of the RF coax linking them. And then of course, then if you've got currents flowing on the coax braid, then that can then pass back into the radio via the chassis and cause problems, failures, and apparently known issues and problems and effectively damages occurred to 817s that have been operated using a power amplifier or a transverter using the same DC supply. And actually thinking about that does kind of actually make sense. So then I thought, well, what am I going to do then? I had a battery pack based on C cells. So I've got a 12 volt kind of battery pack that you can just put C cells into that I built for another project a few years ago. So I tried that and that works, but that isn't going to last very long. So in the end, I managed to get hold of another. Well, it's funny actually, because my lead acid battery is 7.2 amp hour, but I managed to buy a 7 amp hour lead acid battery. It looks identical basically from Screwfix for like 20 quid. Bought that, picked it up, and that's now charged. So now basically I can run the PA on one lead acid battery and the radio on the other lead acid, and so that resolves that problem. You've probably seen images of it in other videos, but it's not very big. It's like a leisure battery basically. So this weekend I'm definitely going to have a play with that. The skeds aren't on this week, so the Wednesday afternoon and the Friday night skeds are not running this week, but they will be back on next week. So I'm going to have a play around and try and work some other stations with that setup before the next sked. And the other thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to try and join G0 EVY and the guys on the 80-meter net. Now, I did say to them on Christmas morning, are you going to be on in the early hours of Boxing Day morning, i.e. this morning just gone? And they sort of said yes. In fact, Dave said that he's been basically on, he's been on the air every night, almost every night for 35 years. So those guys are always on. Now, if you want to have a listen, it's 3.788, 3.788 megahertz is where we were on Boxing Day morning, and they're always there or thereabouts. It's probably like our Skeds plus or minus QRM. So I might have a go joining them tonight. I was going to this morning, but yeah, I was just too tired. So there you go. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I probably won't be doing much general kind of listening or DXing over the next sort of few days. But saying that, if I get the opportunity to, I will. But otherwise, it's the holiday season. It's all about the lousy kids, isn't it, really? So that's basically it. I will be doing my usual annual kind of channel update, appraisal of what happened in the previous year, and looking forward to what's going to be happening in 2021. I haven't recorded that yet, but I will record that, and probably in the next 2 or 3 days probably. So you can hopefully you'll get to watch that video pretty soon. Otherwise, I hope you have a great Boxing Day. I hope the holidays are wonderful. Have a great New Year. Although I'll probably speak to some of you before then. And obviously everybody keep safe, and let's keep our fingers crossed that 2021 leaves us in a better situation than we found ourselves in 2020. So all the best wishes, best DX and 73s, and I'll no doubt talk to all of you again soon. Thanks for watching.